Hello to everyone and welcome to your weekly interview scheduling report. Today is June 1st, 2025, and as usual, I'm here to share with you the highest case number ranges where interviews have so far been scheduled from at your different embassies and consulates. Let's start off in Lilongwe, Malawi, where the highest case number that has so far been scheduled in this year's diversity visa program remains in the 33,800 plus case number range. In Tokyo, Japan, the Africa region remains at 20,000 plus, the Asia region remains at 8,900 plus, and the Europe region remains at 16,300 plus. In Beirut, Lebanon, still no diversity visa interviews have been scheduled. La Paz, Bolivia remains at 2,200 plus. Kinshasa, the DRC remains at 10,100 plus. Tirana, Albania remains at 18,900 plus. In Ankara, Turkey, the Africa region remains at 12,900 plus. The Asia region has increased to 8,100 plus, while the Europe region remains at 9,100 plus. In Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, the Africa region remains at 34,200 plus, and the Asia region remains at 5,600 plus. Havana, Cuba remains at 2,400 plus. Casablanca, Morocco remains at 21,800 plus. In Kuwait, the Africa region remains at 39,500 plus, and the Asia region remains at 7,400 plus. Tbilisi, Georgia remains at 18,900 plus. Harare, Zimbabwe remains at 40,400 plus. In New Delhi, India, still no diversity visa interviews have been scheduled. In Yerevan, Armenia, the Asia region remains at 8,900 plus, and the Europe region remains at 17,800 plus. Algiers, Algeria has increased to 42,800 plus. Libreville, Gabon remains at 43,700 plus. In Napoli, Italy, the Africa region remains at 31,900 plus, the Asia region remains at 8,400 plus, and the Europe region remains at 18,900 plus. In Montreal, Canada, the Africa region remains at 43,800 plus, the Asia region remains at 8,700 plus, the Europe region remains at 18,300 plus, and the Oceania region remains at 1,300 plus. Abidjan, Ivory Coast remains at 28,900 plus. In Frankfurt, Germany, the Africa region remains at 37,700 plus. The Asia region remains at 8,700 plus. The Europe region remains at 18,900 plus, and the Oceania region remains at 500 plus. In Amman, Jordan, the Africa region remains at 43,800 plus, and the Asia region remains at 8,900 plus. Suva, Fiji remains at 1,600 plus. In Cairo, Egypt, the Africa region remains at 44,900 plus, the Asia region remains at 8,700 plus, and the Europe region remains at 18,300 plus. In Djibouti, the Africa region remains at 38,400 plus, and the Asia region remains at 8,800 plus. Rangoon, Burma remains at 7,200 plus. In Islamabad, Pakistan, the Asia region remains at 8,200 plus, and the Europe region remains at 6,100 plus. In Lagos, Nigeria, still no diversity visa interviews have been scheduled. Lusaka, Zambia remains at 29,700 plus. A reminder that these are the highest case number ranges where interviews have so far been scheduled from at your different embassies and consulates. We continue with Manila, the Philippines, and at that embassy, the Africa region remains at 19,400 plus. Luanda, Angola remains at 42,300 plus. In Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the Africa region remains at 44,000 plus. The Asia region remains at 8,900 plus, and the Europe region remains at 9,800 plus. In Manama, Bahrain, the Africa region remains at 42,900 plus, while the Asia region is currently at 7,700 plus. Cotonou, Benin remains at 44,600 plus. Dar es Salaam, Tanzania remains at 20,800 plus. Dakar, Senegal remains at 31,800 plus. In Paris, France, the Africa region remains at 44,000 plus. The Asia region remains at 8,100 plus, and the Europe region remains at 18,900 plus. In Kathmandu, Nepal, the Africa region remains at 8,300 plus, and the Asia region remains at 8,400 plus. In Abu Dhabi, the UAE, the Africa region remains at 15,300 plus, the Asia region remains at 7,000 plus, and the Europe region remains at 4,100 plus. Yaoundé, Cameroon remains at 44,900 plus. Johannesburg, South Africa remains at 44,700 plus. In Mumbai, India, the Africa region remains at 44,400 plus. The Asia region remains at 8,100 plus, and the Europe region remains at 11,800 plus. In Doha, Qatar, the Africa region remains at 42,900 plus, and the Asia region remains at 8,700 plus. Accra, Ghana has increased to 41,600 plus. Colombo, Sri Lanka remains at 8,800 plus. Addis Ababa, Ethiopia remains at 44,400 plus. Lomé, Togo remains at 41,600 plus. Nairobi, Kenya remains at 11,000 plus. Kigali, Rwanda remains at 34,700 plus. Freetown, Sierra Leone remains at 7,800 plus. In London, the UK, the Africa region has increased to 43,400 plus. The Asia region has also increased to 8,600 plus. The Europe region has also increased to 18,100 plus, while the Oceania region remains at 1,200 plus. Monrovia, Liberia remains at 44,900 plus. Antananarivo, Madagascar remains at 39,600 plus. And finally, in Guangzhou, China, the Africa region remains at 40,300 plus, and the Europe region remains at 17,400 plus case number range. So those are the highest case number ranges where interviews have so far been scheduled from at your different embassies and consulates, according to the SEAC data released at the end of the May 26th to May 30th working week. Thanks for watching this video. See you very soon, God willing, in the next one. Until then, goodbye.